Hello everyone and welcome back to our YouTube channel. I am Chris.
And I'm Gio.
And we are actually doing this.
We are. We're starting the new year strong. We're keeping our promise. This is video number 2.
We want to welcome folks who have subscribed to our channel. Also, folks who have viewed our channel, our last video, I should say. Thank you so much. We appreciate the love and support that we are getting.
And if you haven't seen it yet, make sure you check out that last video. It's really cute. Us opening up the Christmas presents. And be sure to like, subscribe, and share, because then what's the point?
Yes, to all of that. Happy New Year. It is 2021.
Let's take a breath. It doesn't mean that, well, 2020 is over. It doesn't mean that we're in the clear, but new year, new us, new people, new chance, new beginning.
New Year, same me. New Year, same me. Like, period. Well, speaking of New Year, do you have any goals or resolutions or anything like that?
Yeah, so one of the gifts I got was a Rocket book. Again, that's where they're not sponsoring us yet. But
check out our last video if you want to know what we're talking about as it relates to the Rocket book.
Mm-hmm. So I used it to A, organize my life, but B, to make a vision board that I now can access on my phone instead of it being out there. So it's really nice because, I have spiritual goals of being a little bit more ritualed, if that's a word.
Make it a word.
I just made it a word. Hashtag ritualed. Be more active, especially because it's winter, and we were having a conversation that usually it's easy to be active because we're at work, right? We're walking and just like that. Now we're stuck home all the time.
So work from home life.
So I got Just Dance on the Switch. I'm about to be dancing. Break out the sweat and have some fun.
Get it.
And work-related things, continue professional development. How about you?
Well, fun fact, we actually recently had this conversation. I have never been the one to get into setting goals or, have New Year's resolution. And a part of that is because I feel like I'm constantly setting goals for myself. And so for me is just manifesting those goals and making them happen. And but for me personally, just based from the conversation that we had recently, I started to think through what are some of the things that I am hoping to accomplish by the end of the year. But one of the things that you shared with me the other day is that how do you make your goals or those resolutions into a routine? Right? So that it's not just 2021, I'm going to do all these things, but how do you create a routine that those new practices, those new habits become a part of your lifestyle? And for me, my focus for this year, which is a continuation from last year, is a focus on, one, for me, is my mental health. And so that's a priority for me in a lot of ways. I've been trying to find a therapist since last year. Fail. I'm trying to find a therapist of color, specifically a Black therapist, and non-existent. And even when I do find someone, they're all booked. They're no longer taking clients. And so that's something that I will try to do again this year, try to find a therapist once again. But for me, just focusing on my mental health and my well-being is a priority. Another thing is finance and fitness for me. So, thinking about our future, right? And money and setting those goals and paying off them debts, right? So that is a focus for me and for us as a couple for this year. And fitness, which is another priority for me, has always been a goal, a priority. I do not have a weight goal. I just have things that things that bring me joy. So I enjoy running, and so yesterday I went out and I got myself just a light jacket so that I can continue running during the winter because, as you said, in the winters, I'm like, it's cold, I'm not going out. But I've been pushing myself to go out and run. And I started doing CrossFit. I started in March or February of 2020. And then the pandemic happened, and then I paused. And then I started up again in summer of 2020, and I've been consistent since. And so, honestly, I go because I enjoy the community and I like challenging my body. But I'm hoping to step up my game at CrossFit, so trying new things, I should say. So yeah, that was a lot.
That was a lot. But
I guess I have goals.
But good segue in terms of this break. We've been spending it a little different. Mm-hmm. Chris has been running and he's been CrossFitting and he's been doing that. I've been rearranging the house. He's helped
in a socially distanced way. I do wear my mask. Even out on my run, like I wear my mask when I'm at the gym. I wear my mask. I don't get it though. That
disclaimer.
Like, I don't get it. They're just like people. Like, I'm running with a mask, and if I can run with a mask on the entire time, why are you out and about walking on the streets or going for a stroll without a mask? Like, you. What if I'm not even wearing a mask? You don't know if.
That's a whole nother video.
Okay,
listen, we will rant about. I have a couple of things
when
to
you
say.
go to the supermarket, I'm like, okay, but that's not.
Listen, I have a couple of things to say for the gay community, especially those Mexico vacationers. Anyway, in terms of break, so he's been doing a lot of that. I've been really kind of settling in, taking a break for once and lounging around and playing the Switch and doing my tarot readings again.
Like, I'm like, what you doing today?
And lounging unapologetically at that, right? Because I was telling Chris that it's hard to work from home in the sense of there's no boundary of when to stop working, when you feel like you always have to be working, because there's no transition, right? Mm-hmm. So this week was my transition week. I literally did nothing. And, we had cleaning days and cooked and things like that. Mm-hmm. We had fun, but find me on the couch, find me on the bed. I'm not about that life.
Yeah, the break. We're back at work like tomorrow, which is I'm excited to get back to work, and I enjoy working with my team. So I'm looking forward to that, and just my amazing students that I get to work with every day. But the break was needed.
Absolutely.
And as you said, we found things to do. We played a lot of Catan and Scrabble and
his ass beat.
Please.
Hand it to him on a
please. Please. But it was much needed, and we definitely found time to really pause and relax and enjoy it.
And have important conversations too, which helps. Every so often we have to have recentering conversations. We're like, hey, checking in, where you at? You're good? All right, great. Because this is marriage now. Like, this is commitment. So we gotta make sure. And actually, that's one of the goals for this year. How to, just because we're married, not just be like, all right, we reached marriage, that's it. Bam, we did it. But how to keep love alive and how to do small things like that. And
I feel like marriage is a verb.
Ooh, look at you. Marriage is a verb. Drop the sermon. It's Sunday. We're filming this on Sunday. I don't know if you'll see it today. Go ahead, drop that sermon.
There is this quote from, we watched the Netflix series Bridgerton.
Watch it.
Sorry.
All that ancient tea.
But the one of the quotes that we got from it. What was it again?
Love is a choice. So you choose to love someone. You choose to make it work. And that's valid. I wake up every day and I choose to love this man. And I choose to live my life with him. I can one day wake up and be like, I don't choose to be in the same room with you.
I mean, you can.
Be in the same room with you. No, but that's the thing. Like, does marriage and a piece of paper and a couple of rings around our finger make it any more commitment than before we said
Absolutely.
I do. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But now there's more at stake financially and legally. But yeah, I think that it's definitely one of the things we will be working on this year. We will make sure that we keep alive the love, and you will get to see it all.
Well, speaking of marriage and love and all of that, one of the questions that we get a lot from people quite often is, how did you guys meet? How did you two meet?
How did it happen?
So we are going to spend some time in this video talking about how we met, how this relationship came to being. Do you want to kick it off first?
Yeah,
Like, who's
sure.
like, you want to go first, and then I can chime in.
He likes to chime in, so let me talk while I still can. I'm shady and petty, if y'all don't know this about me. Okay, so this was back in 2018. And
Well, technically 27, but anyways, go ahead.
maybe you should
2018.
start the story because
No.
you have it started earlier with you in particular. I'll chime in after you.
Okay, so we officially met in 2018, but we knew of each other since 2017. 2017, yeah. 2017 was quite the year for me. I graduated from grad school, started my first full-time job, and so did a move from Vermont to Massachusetts, and it was quite the summer and move, and with all the things that comes with like starting a new job and moving. And so it was fall of 2017. Shout out to one of my coworkers from the previous institution that I worked at. At the time, I was like dating and meeting people, and she was like, well, I have a friend that I think you should really meet because I think you two will hit it off. And I was like, girl, stop, let me see a picture real quick. And then
He saw this and he fell in love. He said yes.
I did. But she showed me the picture, and then she goes, oh, one caveat though, like, he's not dating right now. So I was like, girl, then what's the point of showing me the picture then if he ain't gonna be dating right now?
So enter the friend. Shout out to Monica. Love you.
Also, congrats to Monica.
She just got engaged
in Puerto Rico.
She and Monica, that's the wedding to look out for. The season, if I put on my Bridgerton voice.
Yes.
What scandal shall I bring? But yeah, so enter friend. And I went to college with Monica. And we both stayed in the area, in the area where we went to school. Working at separate institutions, we stayed in contact, community in terms of friendship, family, all of that. We had a small little group going.
Y'all have a really good friendship.
Yes. So she was working with him at his school. I was working at my other school. And during that time, I was doing...
We both work in higher ed.
Not
work at colleges and
universities.
Yes.
So I am in the middle of this spiritual time in my life where I'm not dating, I'm not engaging any of that. Really, I'm focusing, going out after dark, all that. Really taking a year just to focus on my spirituality in general. And Monica, again, had told him about me, but I was in the middle of my year, so I couldn't date. I wasn't entertaining it. I was focusing on me, which I tell Chris all the time. Had he met me prior to my year, we probably wouldn't have worked out. I was thotty, to say the least. Not that it's a bad thing, but I also had a lot of growing, and I did a lot of growing during that year. So towards the end of the year, and I have to be abstinent, and we're going to keep this PG-13. So let's say I was thinking about the things people think when they're abstinent for a year. And
she was trying to be a thought.
Yes. So then I was like, I'm gonna line them up, and Tinder was one of the apps that I downloaded. So I make my profile. I choose one of the cute pictures of me, and
So here comes. Can I
no,
jump in
hold
now?
on, hold on.
Okay.
So then, here I go, swiping my little life away, dreaming up the scenarios that are going to ensue after this, and this one finds me on Tinder. Mind you, again, I'm not dating, so I
Not
don't
dating.
have
So
these
why are you
apps.
on? So why are you on Tinder
Because I'm
then?
lining them up. Because I
Well,
was going to be a thought, if I'm completely and utterly honest with you. But this one found me.
so it was fall. October 2018. Shout out to October 2018. One of the most memorable months in my life. I ran 2 marathons back to back during that month. So huge accomplishments. I mean, finding you too was a huge accomplishment. So I was known as a vicious swiper. Because I feel like, you give everybody a chance. So I'll be like, okay, you.
That means he says no to no one. He swipes right on
I
everyone.
do say no.
Everyone.
I do say no. But
You
anyways,
ran out of swipe.
let me finish my story.
Ran out of
So
swipe.
anyway, so I was like going through, swiping because you never know. So I'm like, okay, cute. Okay, I guess cute bio. Okay, I guess. Then the next person who was up was this one here.
He saw this cute face. He's like,
But because I said I'm a vicious swiper, I couldn't swipe on swipe right because I was out of swipes at like 11 a.m. or something like that. But anyways, I ran out of swipes, so I ran to Monica and I was like, girl, you told me that your friend was not dating. What's going on? How is he on a dating app? What's good? Like, what's good? And so she was like, nah. Like, there is no way he on a dating app. And then...
So then she comes home and she's like, and I was like, she's like, I thought you weren't. She said the same thing he said. And I said, well, I'm lining him up. She goes, well, he found you. And he said he's going to swipe right on you tomorrow because he ran out of swipes. And I was like,
that's why she told you that I was going to swipe right?
You were going to swipe right because he swipes right at anything. Why not me, right? And I was like, because, I was feeling myself and I'm ready. I go, screw Tinder. Give him my number. Tell him to text me. We texted back and forth for a while. I was reading Giovanni's Room at the time, one of my all-time favorite James Baldwin books. And I was like, you should read it and we should talk about it. And, we had a really interesting conversation about Giovanni's Room.
Mm-hmm.
I highly recommend that book if you haven't read it. Especially within the queer community, James Baldwin is incredible regardless. But it's an incredible book. But yeah, and then I think... in terms of when it clicked for me is I travel for work and I was driving from Long Island and we spoke the whole time from Long Island, New York to Massachusetts, and it was like 10 o'clock at night. Like we spoke until like 2 a.m. because it's a long ass trip. And we spoke
Lots
about
of long conversations.
everything. So yeah.
Yeah, it was a beautiful week. And lots of conversations, text messages, and vulnerability, I think. We were like super vulnerable with each other from the get-go, very honest in our conversations, and I guess we overshared so much.
Not overshared. We right shared.
Okay. And yeah, it's just been growth and love and all the good things, and ups and downs in our relationships since then. So that is how we met.
That's how we fell in love. There is more to come, of course. We'll tell you about first trips and first dates and all of that because I got swag and I got game. So I was like, You know me.
I do.
But yeah, so in terms of our next video, it's exciting because we're doing our first Q&A because we're a gay couple on YouTube, so we have to do a Q&A.
We don't have to.
But we want to.
But I feel like it would be... People get to know us more.
Yes, it's a good way of getting to know us. You can drop some questions below in terms of what you want to know about us, about relationships, about us individually, about our life. We'll try to keep it PG, y'all, because, you know, this is a family YouTube channel. And you can also head over to Instagram at Book of Two Queers to be able to submit questions there as well, or follow us there.
Nice. So for now, we are clocking out. And so until next time, I'm Chris.
And I'm Jill. Blessings, y'all.
See y'all and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Don't forget to
like,
subscribe,
and share.
Mwah. Bye.